Thanksgiving is fantastic. Welcome back, by the way. The turkey, the watching of the football, the inevitable fist fight with your uncle when he starts spouting off about Paul Krugman articles. Now, fortunately, there are ways to discuss politics with family without breaking the furniture in the process. Dana Perino has the do's and don'ts of politics at Thanksgiving. Dana, of course, co-host of The Five, former White House press secretary, and expert on family dealings.
Well, I don't know about that.
So you have perhaps the finest list you have created
so far.
So you say when you go into that big anxiety-inducing table, go in prepared.
The anxiety starts about 10 days ahead of time, thinking, oh my gosh, I know I'm going to go there, and I know Uncle Mac is going to give me a hard time about George W. Bush or whatever it might be. So I always say that you have to start early. You have to be more prepared. Being more prepared means having more facts. So go in well armed.
Isn't that crazy? You have to have index cards in your purse as well as recipe cards. And I also like, do practice conversation stranger danger.
Yeah, so that was one of the phrases I came up with in my book in terms of how to be able to meet people in a way that doesn't alienate them initially. So let's just say that some orphans have been invited, meaning people that didn't have anywhere else to go. They get invited to the family table, and you don't know what their politics are, and you don't want to start with politics.
Those are unknown.
You should always just start with like the weather, TV shows, the movies. Family pets are always a good thing to talk about.
Matlock, hurricanes, and Jasper.
Absolutely.
You can't go wrong with any of those. All right, and you know, you say it's good, and I agree with this. Like, I think it's always good to find a place where you agree. You say, do seek common ground.
Yeah, and I find that actually it works for me on The Five, it worked for me at the White House, and it works for me in my personal dealings, where you're talking with someone who maybe they want to pick a fight with you. You can always find agreement with them on something. So have some phrases in your back pocket like, oh, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought of it that way. Or, oh, we think the same on that, and let me tell you another point of view.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have some sort of language that says, I hear you, I want to be kind, I'm trying here, then you're less likely to get into a big fight.
And when all else fails, prepare yourself by, you say, do start drinking early.
Yes, I think that you start drinking early. I also like the idea that if you really want to be devious, plant a little conspiracy theory.
I love that so much.
In Uncle Mac's mind, say, by the way, did you hear such and such? And then you know he's going to repeat it the next day at the diner and sound like a fool.
All right, so let's get into some of your don'ts. Don't get emotionally attached.
That's right. This is my new way for me to get through the 2016 election. And actually for the first time in many years, because I'm not working in government, I don't feel as close to any of the candidates as I have in the past. So I just sort of feel like being unemotionally attached is actually a better way for me to handle the political season.
Do you miss that?
No. Actually, I think the letting go of it has actually been good. I feel like this is therapeutic for me.
It is therapeutic. I mean, but it's so interesting for me as well to see, you know, you've sort of bridged these two worlds.
Yeah.
And you're all into this world, and I'm wondering if part of you misses the other stuff.
I miss that, but I also learned something from President Bush, which is you cannot wish for things that cannot happen.
Yeah.
So he's never going to be president again. I'm never going to be White House press secretary again. You have to move on, start something new, and now I feel like I can be unemotionally attached.
Okay, and speaking of that, you say, don't leave with the argument boiling inside of you.
Absolutely not, because that's how family resentments can actually really set in, and you will hold that through Christmas and New Year, and the next thing you know, it's next Thanksgiving, and you have that anxiety because you're going to see Uncle Mac again. I think the better thing to do is just like ball it up, throw it in the fireplace on the way out the door, and never think about it again.
I love that. I mean, I love like something physical and psychological you can do, because if it gets really bad, you have this urge to throw food. But you say, I mean, you cannot give in to that darker side of you. You say, do not throw any food.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't throw food. If you do, make it sure it's like a white color food, like a roll.
That's right.
Or potatoes. Like, don't throw the cranberries.
Yeah.
That will be a bad scene. It'll leave a stain on your reputation.
Don't wear white to Thanksgiving dinner if you've got raucous relatives.
No, I wouldn't wear white to Thanksgiving. No, I'd wear white to Christmas dinner.
Oh, sure. That's lovely. And hopefully the wine stains will come out, at least with my family gathering. These are so amazing, and I hope that people don't target you because of your ideology. And if they do, I will punch them.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm glad to have you on my side.
Yeah, so you should do bring a wingman.
Well, sometimes you do need to have someone to go to, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you're like, hi, Uncle Mac. Oh, Aunt June, I haven't seen you in a while. And just, like, bypass them.
Yeah, or bring a hockey goon.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I love it, Dana Perino. Thank you so much.
Or fake a phone call.
Yes.
I used to be able to do that.
Hello?
Like, oh, I'm sorry, I think the president's calling. And then nobody would ever question it. I can't really get away with that anymore.
You're like, is she really working for the White House? Oh, I think she's a mental patient. She always says the president's calling. All right, Dana, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, and you too.
Very good.